This is Dave with XMD Northwest. I'm here at Warped Tour with Corey of Reckless Serenade. How you doing, Corey?
Good, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. How you enjoying this tour?
Oh, it's been a blast, man. I'm just so stoked to have gotten through the summer in one piece. I feel like everyone told us going into Warped Tour, dude, if you can survive this, you can go on any tour, So it's a cool feeling to get to this point and know, hey, we're almost clear of this, and we've had a great time doing it. So it's good news,
Any certain cities and shows that have stood out to you that you really enjoyed?
I really like Buffalo, New York, actually, because that date, first of all, we had a good turnout for a city we haven't played that often, and I was also we got into this theme park for free, and it's we got to go in super early in the morning and just ride all these nuts roller coasters for the first 2 hours of the day. So definitely memorable,
What are some of the new bands that you've never seen that you're now into from this tour?
Well, the coolest part is we're on the Full Sail stage, and a lot of the bands on that stage I hadn't heard of prior, and I feel all those bands that I've checked out have been amazing. With Confidence, Mother Feather are probably the two bands that stick out in my head as bands that I would absolutely love to listen to in my free time, that I got to experience and meet, and it's just a really good vibe meeting someone that's on the complete same page as you from total different walks of life, With Confidence is a pop punk band from Australia, and Mother Feather's based out of Brooklyn, New York, but they're just all just down to earth people,
What's some of the bigger bands that you grew up liking that are on this tour that you were excited to be seeing?
Definitely Mayday Parade, definitely Sum 41. I think everyone, when they heard Sum 41 was on the tour, was whoa, that's awesome, just growing up, listening to bands like that, it's amazing.
What are your plans after Warped Tour?
Personally, I'm gonna get home in a couple days and go on vacation with my girlfriend for a couple days, and then after that though, we're gonna start writing our new record, and we're hopefully getting on a support tour in the fall. We're trying really hard to get across into England, UK for the first time, so we'll see how that goes.
So with the media society that we live in and people videoing it shows, how do you feel about that when you're on stage and see fans not dancing around and they're just videoing?
It's kind of weird, I feel you see so many people who'd rather be showing everyone else what they're doing in comparison to just enjoying music and dancing around. So it's almost disheartening sometimes, you see people with that up, but at the same time it's great exposure for us, and it's just how all bands have to play these days,
Do you feel a tour like this with so many stages that it broadens your fan base, or does it separate?
Well, I think for a band like us on the Full Sail stage, it definitely broadens it, just because half the time we're playing, the foot traffic from another stage is coming by, they just saw a really heavy band or a really poppy band, and somehow they are compelled, they hear us playing, they're oh, that's cool, and they stop what they're doing and they check it out. And obviously that doesn't happen on any club tours, either people are coming to see you or seeing the band that's you're opening for or whatever. But I think with Warped Tour there's such a huge opportunity to catch people's attention from other stages.
So you mentioned clubs and this. Which do you prefer to be, more intimate in a club or on a big stage like this where you're just looking out to a crowd of people?
I think they both have their pros. Obviously, going in and doing this every day has been incredible. But I love something about clubs that are just so romanticized in my head. Of you go into a bar and you know exactly how it's gonna smell before you go in there, and you're out with a specific band, and you're sharing a very specific experience with that one or two bands you're out with. So I almost prefer stuff like that in a sense, compared to a giant production. It's a little more intimate.
With the internet, we have piracy. Never going to get rid of it, and that's a fact. Where do you see our industry going with vinyl and cassettes making a comeback? Something that's not so easily downloadable.
I think that's mostly out of necessity. You know, like I think a lot of things like vinyl cassettes are very collectible items. You know, like people want them. They think they look sick. Like I personally grew up on CDs. You know, I would always go out of my way to buy a CD that I supported, even if like I knew someone or if like I had the like album already downloaded, I would still go out and support the artist. You know, but I feel like that's kind of like you can't expect to be selling CDs anymore. I feel like that's kind of a thing of the past, and so I think that it's cool, like the idea that vinyl's coming back and cassettes are coming back. It's just this whole new collectible realm of stuff that's making that second wind again. I think it's awesome.
So a lot of bands are starting to come out with their own clothing line, and instead of just having just one style of shirt per tour, they're just coming out with a wide variety. Do you think that's the way the bands need to go to be able to monetarily stay alive?
I think it depends on the band, you know. I think there's some bands that pride themselves on like a brand more so than others. Like, you know, there's some bands that are gonna be like very like raw, like a punk band that they're gonna be spray painting their own shirts, you know. Like, so I think like not necessarily you don't have to have a very specific clothing line come out to support your own business, but I'm sure it helps, you know, if you have a brand that's strong that people support openly. Like, you know, it can't be a bad thing.
Well, this is Dave with Corey, and make sure you check his band out. And what's your guys' website?
Well, you can catch us on Facebook, Instagram. Reckless Serenade Band is usually the easiest thing that pops up.
Once again, Corey, thank you for your time and what you guys do. And
absolutely,
appreciate
man.
it.
Thank you.